Sharp Game here, coming at you on another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. Now, someone sent me an article over, and this lady that lives in the UK was saying that she's too good looking to have a boyfriend. That's why she's single. And I've heard a lot of women say similar things over the years. And a lot of times, you know, that's just not the case. A lot of times looks don't really have a lot to do with it. See, there's a lot of women out here that think that everything starts with looks and it ends with looks. But I don't know her from a can of paint, but it goes much deeper than that. And I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna read some of this, what she said, and I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna give you my take on what I think. What's the real deal is. Unlucky in love, Sherelle believes she has been unable to find a boyfriend because she is too good looking. Single mother Sherelle, 26, from Manchester, claimed her beautiful face is a curse because potential boyfriends only see her as arm candy. She is nice arm candy. No doubt about it. The shop assistant and aspiring actress says her dating life has been a disaster because of her looks and finds that men only want to parade her to their friends and take photos of her. And she claims her looks can make men intimidated by her, with most assuming she doesn't have a nice personality. Now, that's true. A lot of guys, I can see where a lot of guys would be intimidated by her. No doubt about it. Because a lot of guys, you know, when they get around very attractive women, they start acting like they don't know what to say, don't know what to do. They start acting all goofy and shit. So that happens. But it goes much deeper than that. The stunner has since given up on love, as she is sick of men objectifying her and simply wishes they would like her for her character rather than her appearance. And she goes on to say, I feel as though plain Janes have it easier because men will actually get to know their personality as their looks are merely average. Whereas for me, it's always the wrong attention. They never want to know me as a person. Plain girls end up with the long-lasting relationships, and I'm the one kissing all the frogs. I'm sick of people assuming I am nasty when I am really a lovely person. My looks attract the wrong guys, and it has been really hard. Now I am completely over men. Yeah, right. She's a nice looking girl, no doubt about it. And she says, they continually think just because I'm good looking, I'm going to be rude or stuck up. They say to me, oh, you think you are too good looking, don't you? Which is ridiculous. She says, whenever I'm on a date, they only care about what I look like and never even listen to what I'm saying. My last boyfriend paraded me around his friends and only cared about having his photo taken with me. No man I've met so far is ever actually interested in having a conversation with me. She has 23,000 followers on Instagram, also receives constant stream of abusive messages online. Okay. And she claims being attractive has not only impacted her love life, but also her friendships. Girls are jealous too. I only really have one friend, she said. There was this one time I was clubbing with my friend, and when we were in the bathroom, loads of girls I didn't know were complimenting me, my hair and my looks. Then suddenly my friend walked out and left the club, and she hasn't talked to me since. She said, if I see a pretty girl, I will definitely tell them every time what I love about them. It's nice to be nice. I just don't associate myself with many girls as friends anymore. Well, that's in the club. In the club atmosphere, women are trying to catch in the club. So she should really kind of understand, kind of shouldn't be surprised that women are gonna say what they're gonna say to her in the club. They're in competition. They're trying to catch. I found a lot of girls insecure and don't know how to compliment each other, other than the drunk strangers in bathrooms. On my Instagram, I received countless spiteful messages. One girl messaged me saying, "You think you're so pretty, but you're not. Go kill yourself." Shit. Another guy recently messaged me saying, "You think you're too good for everyone. I just wish people didn't judge a book by its cover, because I am not like that. That's all we have is to judge you by a cover. We don't have, no one knows you, especially if you're online." So she says she's been having trouble with her dating life for years, with failed relationships and disastrous dates. She wishes her looks stop attracting the wrong attention. This one time when I was on a date, I remember something had happened in the news that day. I was sharing my view on the event, and this guy was not listening in the slightest. Oh well. He kept telling me I was pretty and wasn't listening. I then said thank you and carried on asking him what he thought about it. He didn't care and kept talking about my looks, and in the end, he hadn't listened to a word I was saying. Just like I said, a lot of guys get stupid when they get around a lot of attractive women. They start acting all goofy and silly. She goes on to say, "I think it's hard having men not actually know me for me. I am funny and I love to have a laugh. Girls that are more average looking get to have those conversations with men and have to be stuck with men not listening to a word I say. Now I just can't be bothered with dating anymore. I don't want to be less pretty. I just wish men would treat me differently. I think there's a serious problem in society today with the way that they treat pretty women." So that's basically it. Here's the deal. A lot of women that I've met like this, I met a ton of attractive women in my lifetime, and I still meet them to this day. A lot of them, they tend to be they're not very fun to be around. And sometimes, I've hit it off with a lot of beautiful women, and it's like, you spending time together, you're talking to each other, you're going to all the best spots in town, you're introducing to her your friends, maybe even your family, and it's just something missing sometimes. It doesn't happen all the time. It hasn't happened to me a lot. But a lot of these women, they just don't have that. They lack that sex appeal. That's the thing that a lot of them lack. And it's like they're just not fun to be around, And I met a lot of celebrities that were like this. I met some celebrities where it's like, I grew up looking at them on television, looking at their interviews. I bought their records, CDs, tapes back then. If you're as old as I am, we had tapes back then. There weren't no CDs. So I grew up on their tapes. I bought their CDs. I bought their DVDs if they had one. Or if they were in movies, I went to the theaters. I supported them. And when I met them in person, it was like a disconnect. It's kind of like they were two different types of people, but in the same body. It's like, I give you an example. Like, I'm a big K. Michelle fan. I love K. Michelle's music. I like her style. I like, she might say some crazy shit every once in a while, no doubt about it. I'm not going to dispute that. But I just like her music. I like what she does or whatever. And I met her in Atlanta when she came out with her last CD. She had she was she launched her newest CD, and I went with this girl, and I kind of got caught off guard because they were only accepting one person at a time, and you had to buy a CD. So I couldn't go, right? That was the plan. So when we got to the steps for her to walk up, she kind of got nervous and chickened out. So I had to go up there, right? Even though I'm a fan, but I didn't plan on going up there. So when I went up there, I shook her hand and I sat down, and she signed the cover of the CD, and it was like a disconnect. It's like it was like a persona she created, on television and the videos and reality shows and all that stuff. But when I met her in person, it's like she ain't like that. She's like a total different person, and that's the thing, And she don't really have that sex appeal like you would think. And, I met a lot of people from offline. When I meet them in person, it's like, they're like, the conversation is awkward. It's like, they're like a different person. And they're not fun to be around. If it's a woman, they don't really have the sex appeal that they give off within the videos that you might see them in. The only person that, I really it was a pleasure meeting that really sticks out is Lala Anthony. And I remember Lala back in the day when she was working with MTV on the red carpet and all that shit. And when I saw Lala in Atlanta, when she came out with her last book at Barnes & Noble, she had a book signing. And what you see on television is what you get in person from Lala. She's cool as shit. I can tell she's a hustler and she bought her business and everything. But what you see on television, that's exactly what you're going to get in person. It wasn't no disconnect. Everything was aligned. It was cool. I shook her hand. We talked for like 5 minutes. She signed the book and we just kept it moving. We took a picture and just kept it moving. It was just like that, But a lot of these women, they're nice eye candy. They're fun to look at, but they're not fun to be around. And they don't have the sex appeal, and they don't have the charisma, and they don't have the charm. What has happened is television has created a bunch of characters, and these big producers and these big networks pay millions and millions of dollars to promote them. They've shaped their image around this person who we think they are, but in reality they're not. And then when we meet them in person, our image of them doesn't align and coincide with who they really are as a person. So 9 times out of 10, that's the problem with this woman. That's why she's single. She thinks she's single because she looks too good. But no, she's really single because she's just not more than likely, she's just not a fun person to be around. She don't have that charm and that sexual charisma. That's more than likely, that's what it really is. Because I've been around a lot of women like her, and they're just not fun to be around. And some of them are even whacking the sack. So, hopefully that doesn't happen to you, or you don't have experience like that. But I have experience where it's like, it was kind of a waste of time, But hey, just leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. And I will put the link to the article below as well. So if you like what you heard, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Subscribe to my channel. Join my Players Club. And if you got questions, I got answers. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.